Hello. Hi there. How are you this evening? I'm a bit late, so let me get right to it. I hope you had a good day. I did. But let me go right to it, okay? Can you say yes to happiness? 11 practical steps you can take to make it really happen. Think about it. Every single thing we do is intended to make us happier. And yet, sometimes we get diverted and do the things that actually move us away from that goal. We all have the potential for genuine happiness. There's no gene or DNA marker that determines who will be happy and who will not. We make choices throughout our lives, and the result of all these choices combined determines our level of happiness. Make the right choices, and happiness can be yours. So here are just a sampling of some of the tactics that we can employ in an 11-point roadmap to help guide us toward genuine happiness. Number 1, look for the positive in everything. There's an old saying that nothing is inherently good or bad. What makes it one or the other is merely your reaction to it. Find the positive and you will be happier. Those who soar against all odds do so because they look at the positive that could come out of their situation, however bad it may seem to others. I'm sure you've been around people who are always positive. Their situation may be really bad or the circumstance, but somehow they still come out on top because they think positive, right? So they live a happier life. Number 2, hi there, how's everyone? Accentuate the positive. We all grew up with a positivity imbalance, which is the result of society's norms and rules being based on restriction and punishment more than approval and reward. And from a young age, we are taught what we must not do instead of what we may do. We tell our kids, don't do this, don't do that, right? We don't say, do this, do that. It's always, don't do this. I know, I'm a mom. Even in day-to-day life, there's more negative influence than positive. Luckily, you can work to improve the balance. Celebrate the positive and work to get more of it. When you achieve something, congratulate yourself. Look for things that you find uplifting, that make you happy. Get more of that. And at the same time, it says reduce your exposure to negative input, whether it's the daily news, and that's not a good place to go these days, right? Or people that you don't feel good around. You know your buttons. You know what pushes them, right? It says make sure the positive ones are pushed more than the negative ones. So we have a lot of things that we can do. Number 3, practice good selfishness. Now, probably we haven't heard of good selfishness, right? When we were young, we were taught that putting our interests before those of others is wrong. This is particularly true for women, many of whom sacrifice their dreams and ambitions to help others to achieve theirs. It is also common in the corporate world where the good of the company is considered more important than the good of the individuals. We know about that too. It is good to help others, yes, yet we should have boundaries to protect ourselves from being manipulated or abused by others or taken advantage of, right? You are important, and if you don't look after yourself, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you cannot expect anyone else to do so. So we have to love ourselves enough to be looking out for ourselves. Even though others look at it as being selfish, no, it's not. It's a good selfish, right? Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else. Number 4, listen to your feelings. All feelings are good, even the bad ones, because every feeling occurs for a reason. It is delivering a message to you. When we have pain in our body, it's giving us a message. Something's wrong, right? And we should pay attention. So sometimes that message is pleasant, it says, other times it's not. Our tendency is to distract ourselves from unpleasant feelings, often through smoking, drinking, or drugs of one kind or another. When you feel bad, avoid distracting yourself and identify the reason. There's some need not being met. So when you feel bad, ask yourself, what is it that I'm not giving to myself? Instead of just distracting yourself, like it says with alcohol or whatever. Okay. Number 5, give of yourself. The more you give, the more you receive. It says there's probably no scientific study proving this to be so, but unconditional giving is hugely rewarding. It seems that the more of yourself you give, the greater the thrill and uplifting effect on your psyche. Feels good in here and in here, right? Help the needy. Give time if you can. Give anonymously, even if you lose the tax deduction. This is tax time now. We're trying to get all our deductions together, right? But sometimes just give, even if it doesn't mean you get something back, right? Just give it for no reason. Number 6, make it happen. You have the ability to make things happen using your mind. Top sports stars and business people use it. So can you. There are many ways of doing this. One of the common methods is to use visualization, getting a picture in your mind of whatever it is that you want to happen. It says it does not actually have to be a visual picture. It says it could be a feeling, a smell, a sound, or any combination of the senses. Imagine finding the perfect parking near the entrance of the mall or the store where you're trying to get to. Right? It may just be right there for you. Right? The sky is the limit, it says, but persevere. We are not used to utilizing this tool, so it takes practice to think in your mind, what could I want? Maybe there's a parking space right there. Visualize it, right? Close to the front entrance. But we don't use those tools. It's a tool, visualization, but we're not used to using it. So we do it once and it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. We're not going to do it again. It says persevere. Keep doing it. You make it a surprise because it may just work for you, right? Number 7, accept the things you cannot change. We resist things we don't like and often expend a tremendous amount of energy of this resistance. While it can be good, it has resulted in tremendous advances throughout history. We should work to understand those things that we cannot change and then move on. It says, rather use the saved energy on something more worthwhile and productive. This is not to say that we should complacently accept anything. No. It says, if you truly desire change, you should work towards that change. But spending time worrying about something without actively working to change it is unproductive and damaging to your well-being. And we just talked the other day about be happy, don't worry, right? Worrying is a bad habit, and we should not get used to that, okay? Number 8, take responsibility for your choices. I think this is a good one. It says, everything that you do or don't do is because of choices you make or don't make. It's easier and convenient to blame others. It is easier and convenient to blame outside causes for the things that go wrong in life. But your life is the sum of all the choices you make all along the way. Sometimes that choice is to let somebody else make a choice on your behalf, which is not good. You need to make the choice, right? If you don't make a choice, somebody else is going to do it for you, and that may not be the best for you. If you tend to blame other people or things, it may be scary to take responsibility for what happens in your life. But it is really quite liberating, because instead of seeing yourself as an effect of outside forces, you realize that you are the cause of everything good that you achieve. Don't abdicate responsibility for your life. That's a hard one though, right? Taking responsibility for whatever we do. If something bad happens, acknowledge it. If you did it, say, yeah, I did it. I won't do it again next time though, right? Instead of blaming someone else, right? Especially if it's because of a bad choice that you made. So take responsibility. Number 9, schedule regular self-time, me time. Spend some time analyzing where you are in life, your strengths and your weaknesses. Sometimes we don't want to look at our weaknesses, right? Because they kind of embarrass us, right? But how can you turn the latter into the former? Think about your views on everything from your job to global warming and the existence of aliens. Then work out how you feel. Then work out why you feel the way that you do. Is your reasoning sound? The better you understand yourself, the better you understand the world. So even if you think of aliens or whatever else may be out there, ask yourself, is this sound reasoning? If it is, fine. If it's not, then it may be better to discard it, right? Number 10, it says make time to meditate. We spend almost all our time thinking of the past or planning for the future. We seldom spend time in the present. It has reached the point where, for most of us, it seems impossible to keep our focus on what is happening right now. Your meditation could be formal meditation or prayer, but it could be as simple as merely focusing on each breath as it goes in and out for 5 or 10 minutes, dismissing past and future thoughts as they arise. And the thoughts, they will come. But when you meditate, just sit still for a few moments. Breathe in and out and pay attention to your breath. When the thoughts come, just ignore them. They'll go away. Okay? Meditation is very important. And if you think it's such a formal thing that you have to do, you have to sit a certain way or do this, listen to some, soothing music. No, just sit still. Wherever you are, sit still for a few minutes. And just breathe. Right? Even if you're standing, just do it for a few minutes and breathe. Right? Number 10. That was number 10. Number 11. Remove your limitations. It says, when we fail, usually the reason is simply because we don't believe that we're able to do it, or we don't feel worthy of whatever it is that we fail to achieve. Most often, this belief is actually false. We went over that too. Someone gave you a belief when you were younger, and it just stayed with you, right in your mind, right? Oh, I can't do this. Somebody said this, right? That's not so. Don't believe that, right? It says, the result of negative programming received since childhood. Maybe somebody in school, a teacher, or another student, they said something to you, and that sticks with you. It's a belief that you have adopted, right? That you have accepted, and you need to let go, right? It says, the truth is that most of us are able to do most of what we really want to do. You just have to believe that you can do this. The best way to start is with small things, working your way up as you notice the limits dissolving. The more successful you are at assimilating the concept and processes described in these 11 points into your life, it says, the more genuinely happy you will be, and the happiness will last. So, I don't know if some of those things will help you. Hopefully they will. I know they helped me, because in my life I've had many situations where I always thought negative. But I learned to do positive thinking. I read books, I listened to podcasts, I looked at videos, right? I learned to change my thinking because it wasn't getting me anywhere. Thinking negative, I was always in this victim mode, right? It's always happening to me. Why is this always happening to me? Until I changed my thinking. I can change things. I have the power, right? So do you. You have the power. Don't accept what you don't like. Change it. Let the people know. I don't like this. I'm sorry, right? And do something different, right? We don't want to be just people pleasers and then we're unhappy. No, people pleasers aren't happy, and they don't, people don't really respect them either, right? So try to remember some of those points, even if you just remember one, just to meditate or give yourself love, right? Do some good selfishness, right? And it may help, okay? I do hope so. All right. Well, I hope these things help you, and thank you again for watching. I'm a little late today, I know, so sorry about that. But I just wanted to come and say something good to you, to help you, okay? All right. Well, you take care and have a good night. Bye. Oh, and remember, I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then also remember my YouTube channel. There are 31 affirmations there. Just go to Sonia J. Archer, and you should get right to it. And Sonia with a J. It's Sonjaj, and then Archer. Okay? And I know they'll help you. All right. Take care. Good night.